So my name is Min Sang. Welcome to Tokyo. Although I left Tokyo like 1 month ago, it's good to be back. Have you seen this movie, by the way? Lost in Translation? Anybody? Oh, actually, a lot of people. This is a movie from 2003, and actually has nothing to do with my talk. But I want to talk about something with the digital product that might be lost in translation. Okay. Yeah. So in Japan, I came to Japan in 2015. In Japan, it's quite normal to attach sang to other people's last name, like Suzuki-san, Tanaka-san. I found it after I arrived in Japan and lived for a while, and then, like, whenever I say my name, they only put my first portion of my name, which is Min. So I'm like, oh, no. Min Sang is my full name. And then they're like, oh, then you're Min Sang, Min Sang-sang. So we'll laugh. I never thought about it before I moved to Tokyo and then started living here. This is probably something that my parents didn't really think of. So this is kind of like not designed well for somebody who has to live in Japan. This actually like enlightened me a little bit, like about cultural differences and something I could never thought of when I live in some parts of the world. Back to where I came from a little bit. So I came from South Korea, which is like a land of K-pop, and then that's true. And I designed a music streaming app, like just like Spotify, but not Spotify, or Apple Music. It's called Bugs, but I don't know if you know like the name of it. But we designed a music streaming app like before anybody, and it was like back in 2010. And the common expectation at the moment was like, you buy iPhone, and then you connect it to Wi-Fi, and then you can listen to music. And I have a question for you. What do you think will be the critical or key interaction when it comes to music streaming service? Anyone can answer? What? Yes, exactly. When you select music, then it should play, right? So it was, that simple and that, reasonable. But interestingly, in South Korea, that wasn't the case. And what does it do? It actually selects the music. I was like, what? You have to see the title, that looks interesting, and you tap, and then it doesn't play. Where'd it go? You have to select multiple songs that you like, and then there's another play button, and you have to tap that play button. So it's extra steps. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So yeah, we thought this is a good opportunity. So we changed the interaction for our product, but it was actually didn't work for Korean audience or users. They were like, why? Like, it was so frustrating. And I left the job, not for that, but. And then the music streaming service was not my focus for a while. And I came across this article. It's actually written by one of my good friends. He worked on a design studio based in San Francisco. They teamed up with South Korea's #1 streaming service, which had like a completely different interaction pattern to what we did. Like you tap the song, you select the song, and then you have to tap another button to play the song finally. And then they thought this might be a good opportunity. We're a design studio from San Francisco. We can definitely fix your problem. So they just did exactly what I did, and then they failed it. And then they were wondering why. So you can actually go through the article. It's actually interesting. You can search "better isn't always right." by Junee Young. And they did like prototyping, they did the user testing, interviewed people, and then realized, oh, we thought it wrong. Actually, you can't really challenge the already established interaction pattern at one night. And maybe that interaction pattern might fit Korean users' need. So I started to think about, so better, then better for what? Better for who? You know? So that, started something in my mind. Fast forward, 2015, came to Tokyo to join Google Tokyo office. And it's quite interesting because I'm Korean, but living in Tokyo, but working for a global company based in Mountain View, California. So there's already like multiple culture going on. But one day I found myself, this is not really working, find myself designing these kind of stuff. I assume there must be some people coming from San Francisco or Bay Area, and maybe from Google. This is kind of like the one that I used to design with. Like, how tall is Barack Obama? Do you want to know how tall is Barack Obama? And Cascal is actually a restaurant in Mountain View, California, if you want to know. So it's all around us, all around the office. Even though I'm designing in Tokyo office, and I am Korean, but I am designing something based in Mountain View. It kind of struck me. Why am I designing like this? And who is the person who wants to know height of Barack Obama and where the Cascal is and traffic time from Mountain View to San Francisco? Who is this person? I don't know. Not me. But thinking of this famous application that is loved and used by all around the world, maybe it's okay. Google search works just fine in here, United States, other parts of the world. So it may be okay. Maybe I'm overthinking, because it just works fine. But I couldn't really get off this question out of my mind. Actually, is it okay in Japanese? Where is this person? Who is this? Who is using our product? It's just vague, user avatar icon that can really, visualize well. And I came across this quote. I don't know how many of you know Charles Eames, but you know Eames chair, right? So he's he's inspiring. He made a lot of inspiring quotes, and including this. This hit me the most. Primary condition of the design is recognizing the need. And I was asking question to myself, am I recognizing the need? So, go back. 2017, a little bit of history. So I joined Google Tokyo in 2015, and then moved to Mountain View to 2016, and came back to Tokyo to join this team, which is, we're like a small group of people, myself as only one designer, and then PM, and few engineers. Our mission was just to, since we're based in Tokyo, we really wanted to know how these people behave and how these people are using our app, product, how do they think about Google. So we invited them to the office, talked with them, and then we also did following them with their permission. So we're just following them and ask a bunch of questions. And then we also just design something and then ran it by them and hear their opinions. We did a lot of stuff. Not really trying to ship anything, but we just wanted to listen and we wanted to learn. And I want to share some of the insights that I after my time from there. So if you're Japanese, you probably know what these apps are. This is usual suspect when you think about news app. And I could find some commonality here. You can see information density is really high. Whether it's sheer number of articles or just content. And then you can also see on the top side, you can navigate through different categories, which is like also similar, entertainment, sports, blah, blah, blah. And then if you compare this to, hope this works, one from Silicon Valley is quite different. It's really different. One more time. This and this. Look at that. And I was wondering why. Why these are like all similar in similar pattern, and then why these are all similar, slightly different, but you know what I mean. It's obvious, because where they live and how they live is different. In Japan, you have to take a train, normally, if you're living in Tokyo. And there isn't a lot of space, especially rush hour. You have to hold your hand to the handle, and then you have to kill time. Luckily, you're lucky if it's like under 10 minutes, but mostly if you're coming outside from Tokyo to work within the Tokyo, then it takes easily 45 minutes. So you have to spend time. But you can't really use both hands. And in US, driving and reading article, that's dangerous. And I started to think about this. Have you seen this? This is a flyer. In Japanese, they call it chirashi. This is kind of designer's nightmare, right? Look at all this information. It's like, This is not the first thing that comes to your mind when you're in Japan, when you think about Japan. You think about beautiful temple, like well-organized pieces, like ceramic pieces, and then, I don't know, just beautiful stuff, not this, right? I was wondering why. Why these people are designing stuff like this way? When you have all these like beautiful principles around design, you see every like great inspiration around those city. Why? Why this? And I came to realize this is street of Shinjuku. You have to actually like fight against each other to convince people to come to the store or buy their stuff. Because otherwise, you can't really compete. So, it's not just beautiful, calm, beautiful environment, but there are different aspects in day-to-day Japanese life. So, we thought, this is good. Then, people prefer density, and then people want to know more. So we wanted to go that path. So we took some products out there, here and there, and then brought user, and then let them test, and let them talk about what they think about it. And the left-hand side is basically when you're trying to search yakiniku, right? Left-hand side is Instagram. If you search yakiniku, you see a lot of photos about yakiniku. That's actually not a photo. That the emoji is actually the people. So I just censored it for myself. And then right-hand side is Tabelog. I'm sure, if you're Japanese, you probably use it a lot. But if you're not, this is kind of a restaurant finding service. In Japan, it's really popular. And if you see the difference here, it's only photo, and you see how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or it's many, many photos. But here, you see only 3 photos, right? But you see a lot of information. Budget, opening time, when it's opening, seems like this restaurant is not opening at 13th and 14th. And how many reviews, how far it's from station, and then whether you can use T-point card or not, which is very important. And then we thought people will probably prefer this over that. So we just invited people and talked to them and realized that there are several group of people really prefer this. So we're puzzled. Why? And then we just did it over and over again, multiple times. And the target group got clearer as we do more. It was like younger generation and female than male, and who uses iPhone. Okay, this is interesting. And we looked at our product. Left-hand side is what you normally see when you search pancakes in Omotesando, which is kind of similar to Tabelog. So we thought, okay, maybe we can try something different. So we decided to show something on the right-hand side. Obviously, other users didn't like it so much. There's no information. But as we do more and more, we could find out these group of people, specific group of people, actually likes that. And that's plus to us, because we already have this experience. So we just went ahead to build this one on the right-hand side. And what happens when you tap one of these photos? You go to here. We kind of had to do it because Google search is really complex. And then adding another completely new screen is kind of burden. So we wanted to maybe give a nice entry point, and they'll probably like it. But they were really puzzled. They find themselves disoriented. Where is this photo? And there's too many information for them. Too many. So we talked to them and really trying to learn what is there in mind? What's their logic? What do they want to see next? And we designed multiple times. I think it's took 3 months, 4 months just to design and test out. And then we end up with this. The motivation here is you saw the photo, that looks great, but you're not sure if that's real or not. That might be coming from the store. So you want to verify that photo that is actually from the user and actually good. So they want to see multiple photos of the same item, pancake. And then if they feel good about it, they want to see if the store looks good or atmosphere around store looks good. So they can finally make up their mind and go to the store. Then you need this kind of information, if it's open, how far is this? But before you see that, before you see all the photos, you can't really make up your mind. Those informations are useless before you actually get confidence. So yeah, so we had to went through lots of conversations to make sure this is okay, okay to have extra screen, and then we went ahead and launched it. This is my PM actually, and it was 2018 Shibuya. We did New Year's event in Shibuya Crossing, and we introduced the feature, and we did some advertisement. And then even though it didn't work out for everybody, but we could see clear win in very specific group we targeted in the beginning. I want to go back to this slide. Recognizing the need is the primary condition of the design. But how important the need is in your day-to-day design process. When you open up the Sketch, Figma, Origami, Framer, whatever, the need, is that the first thing that comes to your mind? If you were to just design one screen, one product, and then trying to ship that in different language, and if you think that's it, you're losing a lot of stuff lost in translation. That's what I learned. I don't know, if I'm doing this day to day, to be honest, because if my PM comes to me and then, hey, we need this, and then I have to draw boxes, then I'll probably draw boxes. But still, while I'm preparing this talk, I just made up my mind not to forget about it and feel bad if I forget about it. So, yeah. Who are we designing for? Maybe this is an obvious thing for designers, but I really want to question if we really think seriously about it. Yeah, so that's why I accepted invitation for this talk, and this is what I wanted to tell you. Thank you.